Welcome back everybody, my name is Sir Prouse and you are here for Let's Play Dear Esther. So we are on Chapter 2 this time. Part 2, Chapter 2, whichever you would like to say. Not sure where I'm supposed to be going, if I go along there or down here. Let's just go down here. So if you're joining us for the first time and you didn't watch part 1, there was a small little conversation that the guy said, little monologue or whatever he's doing, at the start there, but it started so quickly as soon as it finished loading, I didn't really have a chance to cut it off. So we're starting just after that. Barrels everywhere. A creepy ass island. I want to open the boxes, I want to see what's in there. Got a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get onto the shipwreck due to the fact that there's no jump button or climb button. Could have walked through there. Did I actually go anywhere up there? Not sure if that actually leads anywhere. Let's see if this takes us anywhere.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Okay. Maybe Esther's dead. That just kind of sounded like she was killed in a car crash. We got some buildings. Island is freaking cool, man. Love to stumble across this. I just want to see what this hole is. So why not, right?
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
See water in there. Oh, that's cool. Thought I might as well check that out, because it's not like there's a whole lot else going on in this game. It is interesting though, this game, it really has me wanting to keep going. Not because, you know, there's a whole lot of gameplay going on, but I'm really interested in these monologues and kind of what is going on.
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
Okay. Like, I wonder if this is like the guy. Let me try and articulate this. I wonder if the the reading is actually like a manifest, not a manifest, like a monologue or a book, like a notebook, a diary. Words, correct words. Like a diary that someone's
The was
found.
constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Sure, I saw someone.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Interesting. That seagull scared the shit out of me. With the crazy paintings. What is that? Seriously. How do I get to it? You know, what I was saying was, I wonder if the person I'm playing, the character I am, is separate from the voice I'm hearing. Like maybe they found a diary and they're looking for him, perhaps. I don't know what that is. That's not even chemistry. You know what I mean? And like this voice he's hearing is kind of, as he's discovering things, he's reading, or, you know, it's reminiscing in his head. Oh yeah, you know, I read that section. Very curious. Looks like this is our destination now. We need to go up, but Hermit's Cave. I'm going the right way. This slow-ass walking speed, it's kind of very detrimental if you go the wrong way. Eh?
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
Interesting. I'm not sure what to make of that. Sound in this game is really good.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come.
That way.
Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
Unfortunate. You get an infection, you die, and then everyone just leaves you. Oh well, I guess. Downside of living on an island in the middle of God knows where. Another shipwreck. Obviously a much older one. Maybe not, maybe this isn't wood. Maybe it's metal. Oh no, it is metal. Is it wood? Yeah, it is. Interesting. Mast.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Right, okay. Oh god. Jacobson. The boy. Okay, right.
Donnelly did not pass through the cave.
What's going on?
On from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
Shatter Island / the bunker. Yep, you're not wrong there, friend. You are not wrong there. Lit these candles. And how is my leg not broken? Right, okay. Can't go up there. Oh, I think I'm crouching. Right, okay. Nice use of lighting. Music's really good for this. I do quite enjoy this music. Weird place to put a candle.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Looks like a circuit. Those bits, I think I've seen them on circuits. Diagrams. Interesting. Really hope we find out who this guy is. Oh, okay. Wait, which way did I come? Sure, I came that way. Really hope I'm not just walking in circles. No. Ah, shit. Okay, here we go. Wow, that's pretty. It's very pretty. Really like the water effects of this game. Wow, yeah, very pretty. Righty. Like this would be near impossible to climb up. There's so much like moss growing and stuff on it, it'd be so slippery. Not that way. Wonder how the broken leg got through here. Doesn't seem like it would be possible. Especially up that pretty slippery slope. Oh, okay, I've gone. Oh, I get it. That's where I jumped out of. Right, okay. Alright, be careful not to slip off, because that would suck. Cute little mushrooms. Wasn't sure what that was. Still don't know what that was. Wow.
In my final dream, I sat at peace with Jakobsen and watched the moon over the Sandford Junction. Goats grazed on the hard shoulder. The world gone to weed and redemption. He showed me his fever scars, and I mine. Between each shoulder, the nascency of flight.
Fish? Nope, just some sort of rock or something. More chemistry. I'd really like to know if it explains about what all this chemistry is about. Does it mean anything? Wish I'd studied chemistry now. I guess another interesting point is how did they get the bloody paint cans in here? I'd love to know that. Weird tree thing. Wow. Oh, no, that's not a way out.
This cannot be the shaft they threw the goats into. It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
Okay. A lot of this is metaphors. Definitely no dead goats in there. More chemistry. Who lit these candles? I can't read that. Don't know what that says. Jesus. Don't know what that says either. Guys who made this game definitely should make a horror game, because this would be creepy as hell. Away from being something. I can't read that last word. And something small b, I don't know. Can't read those. I hope they're not integral to the bloody plot. To the plot. Okay. Wonder what these things would feel like if you touched them. Would they be really soft and slimy, or I don't know. One of the weird things that kind of goes through my head. Oop, coming up on a waterfall again. Another giant hole. Oh god. What? Sort of flashback for sure. Okay. This is weird. Am I supposed to do anything? Where am I supposed to go? 2 cars. Guess I'll just keep going forward. This is weird. I don't understand this. Keep going. Okay, there we go. Look into the light. There we go. The use of blues and different hues of blue in this game is so beautiful. Really done a good job. Would have been better if I could have read the paintings that were on the wall, but you know, that's alright. Beggars can't be choosers. Come on, super slow walker. Loading. So is that gonna be? It is. Esther. Finish chapter of the caves. Interesting, okay. One was living here. Quite pretty.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
This dude is batshit crazy. What have we got here? Pictures.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash.
Car
Half of it
crash.
fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman.
That looks like a person.
I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its
Here we go.
smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
Is that a defibrillator? Doesn't work without power, man. Is that a person? It's gotta be a statue or something, surely. I really hope we find this guy at the end. And actually kind of get some answers as to what the hell is going on. Photo of someone with a smashed glass. What have we got over here? Random assorted car bits. Fair enough. I wonder if whatever this car crash was, so he's just like collected car bits to car pieces to just. That's the carbs and the.
There were chemical diagrams on the
about.
posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Something from heaven, something around, right from heaven. Okay. Okay, so chemistry, the chemistry then must have been what he's referring to was in the doctor's office when he went batshit crazy and he's
From here, I can see
ended
my
them
armada.
on the walls.
I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
That's cool. So, okay. I haven't all sunk, but anyway, moving along. Is there anything in these little huts? Ooh. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Oh, the legs. Their mother's gonna come in and get him, otherwise, I'm gonna die. without the warmth. Right, let's move along. Alright, I guess it looks like we're heading up to the radio tower now. I keep expecting to see my body or my arms swinging or something. I've been playing too much Outlast. I wonder how he actually carved that into the side of the mountain. He said he did it, but I just wondering how he did it.
Torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. As I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
Okay, sounds like he's referring to the car crash. Well, he looks like a person. Sure, it's just some sort of weird trickery, though. Like, supposed to look like a person, so you think you're coming up on a person, and then it's just a fucking rock or something.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber of pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Okay, maybe it was a person, or maybe I'm just tripping balls and hallucinating like crazy. And something he was proceeding on his journey? Was proceeding on his journey. Okay, looks like we're tripping balls. Let's see what that second word says. And something he was proceeding on his journey. Alrighty. We're getting awfully close. Feels like we are imminently encroaching upon the end of our journey, our little adventure. And you come near... I'll read that one. Drink. Eat nor drink.
If only Donnelly had experienced this,
Neither did
he
he.
would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Wait, is he saying that that dude was having sex with his goats? Got syphilis? He was saying something about his goats, and then he got an infection. But, okay. My mind was being too innocent. Let's check out this hut before we go up any further.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford, goodbye Cromer, goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection.
Arkeys.
I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
This looks like a pillbox. And it came to pass as... Get closer to read that. Come on. Came to pass that as I made the journey, my journey. Oh, now it's too close, I can't read it. Oh, guess we're not going to find out what that says. I can't imagine climbing up here with a broken, infected leg would be very easy. Very pretty.
A gull perched on a spent bonnet, sideways, whilst the sirens fell through the middle distance and the metal moaned in grief about us. I'm about this night in walking, old bread and gull bones, old Donnelly at the bar gripping his drink, old Esther walking with our children, old Paul as ever, old Paul. He shakes and he shivers and he turns off his lights alone.
Okay. Wish there was an easier way to read these paintings. Damages? I don't know what that says either. Almost there. Pretty windy up here.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Dear Lord. Interesting. Pretty sure you would fall faster than this, though. Oh, he's a bird. was a very interesting game experience.
Come back.
Right, okay. Interesting. Okay. I think that's it. Very short game. Like an hour. Maybe not. Maybe... Oh no, that's it. Yeah, oh well. Jesus, 200 gamer score for that. That was easy. Alright everyone, well I'm Sir Prouse. This was a Let's Play Dear Esther. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, follow, share, whatever you want to do. Have a look at our other videos. Yeah, oh well, I suppose that's all. I hope you enjoyed for another series. See you later guys.